Hey there, today we're going to be cooking some deer shank roast. I've deer hunted a lot of years growing up. The shanks, we would just take those, bone those out, throw them into our grind pile, and really didn't use them for much. And I saw on YouTube someone's video where they said they were really quite good if you cook them slowly in a slow cooker. Well, I've gotten to where I prefer a Dutch oven to a slow cooker, but if you look here, you'll see that I have a shank roast, and I've taken, they tend to be not very large and not have a lot of meat on them, but if you cut and leave that little extra muscle when you're processing, that gives you some more meat on there, so that it's really quite a good meal to have. The way we like to do these is to start by searing them on all sides, kind of gets those flavors sealed in, and then we'll take that out, put it in our Dutch oven, and then sear off any vegetables or potatoes or whatever you would like to stew in there with it. And we're going to slow cook that for at least 3.5 to 4 hours. You know, a smaller one would be faster, a larger one further. You just kind of check it. But when this is done, it is going to be absolutely fork tender. All of the connective tissues in that shank, that collagen, is going to break down on that slow cook. And it is a matter of time, so don't try to like raise up the temperature or anything like that to go faster. Check that out to make sure it's plenty hot, and it is. So we're going to get that going down, and you don't have to be scared of this. It can be quite hot. The whole goal is to sear it so that as it cooks, it wants to hold in its own juices. Okay, so we have our veg that has been going. We want to pre-cook this because we want to get it to temperature before we go into that Dutch oven and into the oven. Because again, our temperature is only at 300 degrees, so you wouldn't want to have all of this cold going in there, or it's going to take that much longer to get it to temperature. Another thing is, I like to use our home-done tomato powder out of the garden, and it kind of needs that heat and that moisture to get the flavors going, and so we've already got a good process on that. If you don't have that, just use tomato paste, and it's going to come out fine too, but you want some of that acidic tomato paste in that broth to help everything out. But at this point, we're going to come over into our Dutch oven, and you're going to see that it has the sear on it. You wouldn't want to try to just dump that all in there while it's hot. You'll want to use some kind of a device to get your veg and position it, tuck that roast in nicely so all those flavors marry together. You don't want to complicate this. In the end, what you're really doing is some meat, onion, carrots. If you had potatoes you wanted to throw in there, that's fine, but we like to serve ours over mashed potatoes, so we don't put any of that in here. And then we're going to come in with that beautiful sauce. That's the magic right there. It has all that flavor working in it, and it's only going to get better when the deer starts to release its flavor. It's going to make that such a rich broth. And that's why you want a lot of herbs in this recipe because the herbs and the venison are going to make just a super savory concoction. And we want to make sure for moisture that you're coming at least 2/3 of the way up the roast. You don't want it to be dry. So we held this back. And again, thankfully we already have that temperature. I wish I'd put a little more in there, but that's okay. Again, if anything, it's going to take us a little longer to get to temperature. It's not a big deal. Okay, we have been in there for about 2 hours. Renee came in earlier and she basted it once at 1 hour. So just take a look with me at what it looks like. At this point, see, it's coming to a good bubble and everything. I like to see that. Plenty of heat. And when you baste, you just want to take every hour, you want to take and get those juices going up over it like that, okay? But this time, we're actually going to flip it because it's been, this is the second go. So you can just come in. Oh, look at it already separating off the bone. Look at that. And we're going to flip it over that direction. Get down there, had nothing trying to escape. Just like that. We'll baste it a little from that direction, even though it's just down there. And that's all you want to see. And we're going to keep going another couple hours just like this. We'll come back in an hour and do it again. And that juice is going to be so good. There's going to be more than you need with this, but you can save that extra. And that's your soup you can make something out of. It's delicious. Alright, back in she goes. Alright, we finally made it to 4 hours. We'll get it on out and show you the finished product. You can see everything is just wanting to come right off the bone there. There's not a muscle in there that isn't just going to melt apart like butter. I'm going to get a bunch of that right up on top of that. Come here, get a couple carrots on the side, a couple more carrots, some onion. Bring the whole thing in this thing of that juice. Tell you right now, that's good eating.